Hi everyone. So it sounds like some of you are having trouble with the date time stuff for the assignment. So I'm going to go through um, and actually just continue off of the project we were working on last night and just throw some date times into, like I said, the project we were working on. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set up. We had a class for some courses, and I'm going to set up a couple date times in here, one for the start and one for the end date of the course. So I'm going to make two properties just inside the course. If you guys want to follow along and do this in your project, that's cool. We're really not going to use this again for the class. Um, well, maybe we will, but it won't hurt anything. So if you have this in there, it's not going to hurt anything. But I'm going to create a private date time. And I'll have to add the namespace in here. And I'm going to call this start date. And I'm going to have the exact same thing for the end date. And then I'm going to create two, I did say properties up there, but I meant fields. I'm going to create two properties down here that give me access to those. So this should all be review. Okay, so now my course has a start date and an end date, and we've been working on filling these from a data file, and this is eventually going to be replaced with a data access class. But for now, let's continue kind of like we were. Here is our get course name, get course description. Let's create one for getting the course start date. So it's going to be a public static date time called get course start date. And what we'll do is we'll pass in the course ID, and I'm just going to copy this whole thing because really we're just going to return kind of a random date. Now this is the part where I think you guys were having trouble with, is we've been using so many datetime.nows that I have a feeling a lot of you guys were doing datetime dot. Well, datetime is really just an ordinary object, like the ones we've been working with for the past few weeks. So what I really want is a new datetime. So I'm calling the constructor here and creating a new instance of a datetime class. And I can do that for all of these. And this one should hopefully never get called down here, but that should be fine. It's just going to make the compiler happy in case one of these numbers are not lined up with the ID. But there's a bunch of overloads for this constructor. There's 12 of them. And if you go down to number 4, I can actually enter in a year, month, and a day, which is exactly what I want for the start date of a class. So a class, by class I mean a student course. So let's do 2014, and it's going to start on September 2nd, which just happened to be our start day for this semester. And I'm going to do second, and maybe I'll just change these by like a day or two. Third, fourth, fifth. So maybe this class starts on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And then let's copy this, and we'll just do the same thing for the end date. Again, so eventually this whole file is going to get replaced with a class that will access a database. But for now, we're just kind of hard coding these values in here. So our semester is going to end on the December. Just to make this easy, I'm going to go 22nd, 23rd, 24th, 25th. Oh, that would suck to have class on Christmas, but anyway, it's just an example. So now when I'm filling my student collection, we've been kind of setting up these course properties. We're going to do the same thing. So I'll do course dot start date equals data file dot get course start date and pass it the course ID. And I'm going to do the same thing for the end date. And let's just see what we've got here. So if I load the hard-coded data and I scroll over, I've actually got a start date that I wanted and the end date that I want for all of these courses. And I can save that to the XML, close out. If I open it back up and I load it in from the XML, hopefully I still have my start and end date. So nothing really complicated. The hard part, I think, was just that we'd been using so many DateTime.nows that you guys might not have realized that that's just an ordinary class. And if we call the constructor, we can pass in a year, month, and a day, and it's really shouldn't be extremely complicated. So if you guys have any questions, shoot me an email. Otherwise, I'll see you next week.